Hello there, Instagram. Hello, YouTube. I see we've got a couple of people here already. And okay, we are ready to roll. So let's see. I'm just, give me just one more moment. I just realized there's one more thing I need to do here, if you don't mind. All right. I think you're good full afternoon. So give me just a moment here. Okay, let me see here. All right, I apologize. We are so busy here that it was all I could do to get back to my desk in time for the to get started. So we are coming up here. In just a moment, we'll be ready. Let's see here. This is a little crazy. I had this before. We now have 3 devices sitting here on my desk. So that's why I'm trying to see around one to get to the other. And again, we're going to be getting started in just a minute. So I hope everyone's well. Okay. I think we're good to go now. So we've got just one more moment here. All right. Thanks for bearing with me, everybody. It's really a pleasure to be here with you. As many of you know, I am just thrilled anytime I get to be with a group of people and share as much information as I can. And that's the objective here today. So I hope everyone's well. I'm going to be changing my view as I'm looking down here at my laptop and up here at the desktop and over here at my phone with everyone. I hope everyone's doing great. What we're here to talk about today is, it's not really the pandemic. You know, we call this how to pandemic-proof your body. But honestly, it's not so much about that. And I'm guessing most of you here, many of you here are people I recognize. I see many friends and I see many clients of ours. And I see people who I see regularly on my live broadcasts and on YouTube. And I'm so appreciative for each and every one of you. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to wave to everybody here on Instagram today because there's just too many of you. There's lots of people here. That's hard to do. Yeah, that's gonna be too distracting. So let me just wave to everyone one time and say I'm really glad you're here. I'd like to be able to give you more attention, but it's going to be a little hard today with the tension spread so thin and with so little time to share so much. So I want to jump into it. And I want to share with you a little bit about my story. You know, I would start by talking about what it is we're talking about. So it's not so much about the pandemic, but with this pandemic, with this last year, what we're seeing, and I'm seeing this, and you're probably seeing this too around you. I hope it's not you, but there are many people who are truly walking around terrified. They are terrified because they believe that their health is in jeopardy. And their health is in jeopardy because of some pathogen that no one's ever seen. You know, and I'm not going to get into the whole politics of that. My point is that how would it be to live in a way where you never, ever worried about your health? You never even had to think about it, okay? Because every single day you felt amazingly well. And that's, as many of you know, that's what I'm all about. It's helping people maximize their physical health, their mental health, their emotional health, and their spiritual health. Because for me, everything is interconnected. We can't focus on one part without focusing on all parts, okay? It's about the holistic viewpoint. It's about taking the entire organism up to an entirely new level, right? Now, many of you know that this is what I do. I've been coaching people now for 30 years. For the last 24 years, in March, it'll be 24 years that I've run the Tanglewood Wellness Center, where we have now worked with many thousands of people from over 135 countries. I've lost count now, but that's, you know, it's an amazing thing. We have friends and clients all over the world. I can go almost anywhere and know people. It's a cool thing. I literally get letters daily from people telling, thanking me for what they've learned from my videos or from what's happened with their experience here. When I travel around the world to speak, as I've been doing now for more than 20 years, in more than 35 countries, lectures and seminars, in most cases, not all cases, but in most cases, those events are events that were actually set up for me by clients who wanted to share their experience with the world. They had this amazing transformation, and they wanted as many people as possible to experience the same thing. Okay, so it's important to understand what's possible, what's on the table here. And sometimes when I talk about like perfect health, I offer the Creating Perfect Health system. I offer the Creating Perfect Health seminar, and people look at me like I'm crazy. What's perfect health? I mean, most people by the time they're 25 aren't functioning so well, right? What I hear all the time are the problems that people have. People they're uncomfortable because of their weight. That many people need to lose weight. We now know that more than half of the adults are in probably every country that's watching here. Most of them people are overweight or obese. Increasing problem. Even children, a significant and growing number of children are overweight or obese. Some people can't gain the weight that they want to gain and need to gain. They can't gain it. Many people are dealing with low energy, with fatigue. Right? Many people just don't have the energy to do what they need to do. They feel exhausted all the time. They're in pain all the time. They've got brain fog. They can't think clearly. And this is a serious issue. I mean, imagine if it's not you, be grateful, but imagine what it would be like to every day be unable to do what you want to do because you can't think clearly. Now, how terrible that would be. Okay, I know about this because I've been there, and I know many of you do too. Okay, I know that many of you do. How many people are relying on medications to suppress symptoms? Hopefully understanding that these drugs are toxic to them and are making them sicker, not better. Okay, this is the thing. I mean, many people out there are walking blind. Not so many people here with us today, probably, but many people still believe that medicine is there for their, for their interest. It's not. Okay, unfortunately, that's not the case. So people are stressed and they're anxious. They're afraid of getting sick. I mean, today, my sister and her son wanted to go to Florida, but they were afraid to get on a train for fear of COVID-19. Okay, I was in Florida a month ago and very happy to see friends and go out to meals and kiss people, and there's no reason to be afraid of anything, right? That's what this is about today. How to pandemic-proof your health. How to get to the place where you never need to think about this. You never need to worry about this. And this is what's possible. Okay, how many people are out of touch with their body? They don't even know what's going on. They're not connected. They're not getting the messages. I see this all the time. People who have giant tumors and they're diagnosed at the last minute. You're wondering, how is that possible? How could someone have this enormous mass in their abdomen and not realize it until the last minute? But it happens all the time. Okay, this is the real pandemic, right? This is what's going on out there. It doesn't need to be that way. Okay, suffering from poor health and getting worse all the time. Now, I know many of you here are already far more conscious than the average person, and that's wonderful. That's wonderful. And yet I still see people all the time. I work with people all the time. Right now, I am fasting probably, including remotely and here at the center. I've got around 45 people fasting with me, and there's probably at least 8 or 9 people who are fasting with me for a second or third time. Okay? These people are people who understand all of this, but maybe aren't applying it yet. Okay, or maybe they're missing one or two keys. And so what I want to attempt to do today, as much as I can, is share as much as possible about what's possible for you, okay, and how to achieve that. All right, because ultimately, whichever of those issues it is that you may be dealing with, whether it's the weight issues, the fatigue issues, the brain fog issues, or the stress and anxiety, whichever it is, any of those things, it doesn't matter which. The problem is either you invest in your health now, or you wind up paying the price later on. There is no alternative. Okay, it's going to be one or the other. Okay, I mean, you may not pay a price in dollars, maybe you don't have any money, but you pay a price in your health, you pay a price in what you're able to do. I don't know about you, but what I'm committed to doing is to being, functioning at my very highest level all the time, so that I feel and function incredibly well every day, so that I'm clear, mentally clear, so that I'm able to use my body. That's what I want for myself, and that's what I want for you. And that's what I'm taking a stand for that my entire adult life. I've been working 30 years, more than half my life. I'll be 60 soon, but it's more than half of my life. I've been working to help other people create an amazing life. I'm not asking for congratulations or a pat on the back. I'm just demonstrating this is my commitment. And the cool thing is, in almost every case, it's possible. There are people who it's really too late. They're not gonna be able to heal in some cases. But even those people, in almost every case, can improve. If not completely, they can still improve to the point that they feel better, they function better, they enjoy life more. That's what's possible. That's what's possible. Okay, absolutely possible for anyone willing to do what they need to do. So imagine what it would be like now, where every day you wake up and you jump out of bed because you feel so good. You're happy, you're grateful. Okay, emotionally, you're positive. Okay, it's an incredible thing. What would you be able to accomplish? Okay, how would you feel every day when everything was just incredible? Okay, so I haven't shared much of my story, and I said I would. So some of you may not be aware of this, but 37 years ago now, I had graduated from school, and I found myself, I was working for the second largest commercial real estate company in the Washington, D.C. area. I was actually the youngest officer of the company, and I had graduated with a degree in finance, and I guess I impressed someone and got a good job with them. But I found myself one day, I was going back for my fifth or sixth cup of coffee before lunch, and I realized I was addicted to coffee, and I wasn't willing to be addicted to anything. Okay? So I decided right there and then, that's it. No addictions for me. I'm not drinking any more coffee. That's it. Nothing else. Well, it didn't take long for me to realize just how completely exhausted I was. Okay? Because I've been propping myself up with all this caffeine, which of course only further depletes your system, depletes minerals, imbalances your body, depletes your adrenals, right? But I didn't know. At the time, that's all I knew to do. Right? So I've been propping myself up, and here I was. I stopped drinking coffee. I was completely exhausted. Finally diagnosed with chronic fatigue syndrome. But not just chronic fatigue syndrome. I was also diagnosed with chronic candidiasis, systemic candida, with a sinus infection, with 57 allergies, and with irritable bowel syndrome. And so I was allergic to almost everything. Anytime I ate anything, I felt terrible. Just terrible, right? I kept a stack of books on the toilet tank in my bathroom because I spent hours in the bathroom every day. Okay, I got a lot of reading done there. That was there's always a positive, right? There's the silver lining. So I was able to read plenty because I was in there for so long. But this wasn't the life that I wanted for myself. And I wound up spending nearly 3 years doing almost nothing. I still went to work because I bought a house and I needed to pay the mortgage. But I wound up buying a house 10 blocks, 10, 12 blocks from my office. So I could literally get up at 8:30 and be in my office at 9 o'clock. Okay, one of the benefits of having a beard, right? That even if you don't shave, you can't really see so much, and it doesn't, you know, it's pretty quick to shave. I wore a beard back then too. I would go to my car at lunchtime with a little battery-powered alarm clock to sleep for an hour because I was so exhausted. And at 6 o'clock, 5, 6 o'clock, I would head home and I would eat something and I would go to bed most of the time, most nights. And this was my life for 3 years. I hardly did anything because I didn't have the energy to do anything. Okay, I wasn't really performing as well at work as I wanted to because I didn't have the mental clarity to perform at work. Now, I wound up going, you know, all I knew back then was Western medicine. So I went to my plan doctor and was told that most of what I was dealing with didn't exist. Back then, there was no such thing as irritable bowel syndrome. There was no such thing as chronic fatigue syndrome. There was no such thing as candida. They didn't recognize any of these things. Remember, we're talking now about 37 years ago. The sinus infection, that was easy. Take this broad spectrum antibiotic. I didn't know any better. I took it. Okay, what do these broad spectrum antibiotics do? Against bio-life, they destroy your immune system. And I took these things not knowing any better, getting sicker and sicker all the time, destroying my body's immune function. So instead of getting better, I was getting worse, right? They also identified the allergies. It was obvious I was allergic to almost everything. They wanted me to come and take, all these shots every week. And I thought, I kind of like sitting down every once in a while. That didn't sound like such a good idea. So I opted not to do that. But I didn't know where else to turn. I mean, and honestly, it didn't even occur to me to turn at that point, if you know what I mean. Right? I mean, at the end of the year, that first year, I thought, okay, this doctor doesn't know what he's doing. I'm going to find another one. And I found another doctor. And the exact same thing happened. And at the end of the year, I thought, I'm going to find another doctor. And I found another one. And I got the same story 3 times from 3 different guys over the course, they were all men, over the course of 3 years. I heard the same story. Okay, most of what you're dealing with doesn't exist. You know, they said, just be careful what you eat. That worked really well, being careful what I ate. Unless I ate any food. You know, if I ate any food at all, I felt terrible. Okay, that's what happens. Diarrhea, constipation, it was really painful. In fact, I mean, it was crazy because today I've got, I wear shorts most of the time, sometimes pants. I wear belts around my waist. The pants can be fairly tight. I feel perfectly comfortable. Back then, because I was so uncomfortable, so bloated all the time, I wound up having buttons sewn in all of my pants, even my shorts, and wearing braces. They're like suspenders that button in. Okay, this is the only thing that was comfortable. I mean, my pants, I bought all my pants like 2 or 3 inches too big, just because of this ongoing discomfort for years, right? I mean, it was terrible. And not something I'd wish on anyone. Now, ultimately, what happened was I realized, okay, medicine isn't helping me. It's making me worse, not better. 3 years down the road, and I'm worse than I started with, than I was when I started. And I thought, okay, I mean, I'm kind of fortunate because I grew up on the East Coast, outside of Washington, D.C., not in Southern California. Why do I say that? Well, if I grew up in Southern California, I probably would have known about all these other people out there, like naturopaths and homeopaths and acupuncturists and all these people. I wasn't aware of that. What we had, it was kind of a conservative area, medically, from a health perspective. Some of these people existed, I'm sure, but I didn't know about them. Even chiropractors. I'd never heard of a chiropractor back then. And this, again, this is a long time ago now, 37 years ago, and it was a different world. And so when medicine failed me, I thought, okay, well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go back to nutrition. Because I had started studying nutrition at the age of 14. And that's kind of unusual, right? 14, 15, somewhere in there. I don't remember the exact age now, but what had happened was in my 14th year of life, I grew 10 inches. Like that's 25 centimeters for those of you on the other side of the pond. Or on this side of the pond, but south of the U.S. or north of the U.S. It's only the U.S. that still uses the English system for everything. So I grew 25 centimeters, 10 inches in 1 year without gaining a pound. And I looked like a stick with a nose, right? I was, almost 6 feet tall at 15, and I weighed like, 105 pounds or something. And so I thought, okay, I need to pay attention to nutrition. I need to learn about nutrition and exercise. And the two things for me went hand in hand, and they still do. But I thought, I'm going to learn how to feed my body so I can build muscle, right? That was the objective. And it worked. It worked. I mean, over the next couple of years, I built up quite a bit. I think when I graduated from high school, I was probably 165 pounds. And I'm sure I was carrying a little bit of excess chub, etc., from partying. But I was a lot stronger. I'd successfully grown my body that way. And it worked, no question about it. And it was probably good. I was still swimming competitively. I'd been a competitive swimmer since I was a little kid. I had continued doing that. Not so much in high school, but back to it in college. And, this all served me well. But the crazy thing was, first thing, I thought, okay, I got to go back to nutrition. Well, what I realized was I was already doing everything that conventional nutrition said I should do. And I was still sicker than anybody I knew. And I thought, okay, there's a problem here. Something's wrong here. And what I realized was that conventional nutrition didn't work. It really didn't. I mean, it's a reductionist view. It's absurd. They look at individual isolated nutrients, and we don't eat that way. That's not natural. That's not what it was about. What I realized was I needed to find a way. Okay, I needed to figure out what was actually natural for my body. And that's what I began to focus on. And so I wound up making radical changes to my diet, and I wound up learning about fasting. And within 6 months, the change in me was so radical. It was I was so transformed that people who knew me would walk up to me who hadn't seen me in a while and say, "Oh my God, you look amazing. Can you help me? Or can you help my spouse? Or can you help my kid? Or my partner, or whatever it is." And I wanted to help, and that's what I began to do. Okay. Now, imagine for a second that I hadn't taken that action. All right. I haven't kept up with everyone, but as far as I know, there's now at least half a dozen people I went to high school with who are dead from cancer or heart disease. Okay. I know many people, many of my old friends continued on the same path that we were on as adolescents, which means they're still smoking a lot of pot, they're still using alcohol, they're eating, whatever they want to. I mean, you could get away with that. I could get away with that at 16, 17, 18. By the time, I'm so fortunate. I feel so grateful that at 23, my body said, yep, that's it. You can't get away with it anymore. You're done. And at first I changed my diet and began fasting. And it was actually a couple of years later, just before I turned 25, I said, you know what? I don't think that drugs and alcohol are serving me anymore. And I decided, that's it, I'm giving them up. And I walked away from them, okay, before I turned 25. And I'll turn 60 in a couple months, so it's now been nearly 35 years since I've used any of those substances. And I can tell you, I don't know about you, but I was using those substances not because it felt so great to be high or drunk, but because I wanted to escape my reality. And what I've done instead is I've created a reality that I'm really, really glad to be conscious for every day. I want to be fully conscious. So I haven't touched any substances at all in 35 years. But imagine if I hadn't taken the actions I'd taken, I'd still be in the same place. Okay, and I can't tell you how many clients I've worked with who literally credit me with saving their life. Now, I didn't save their life. I just showed them the way. I just taught them exactly what to do. Okay, more than 400 clients with hypertension, and we have more all the time. I've got probably 10 people right now working with hypertension. Many of them, I mean, this is the crazy thing. Many of them told by their doctors just weeks ago, "Oh, these numbers are fine. You don't have to worry. That's okay." And I explain to them what they really mean, and they see, "Oh my God, this isn't so healthy. This isn't safe." Okay, often what's happening is their numbers look okay, their blood pressure, because they're dehydrated. As soon as they get hydrated, then we can actually see what's going on, and it's not so good. It's not such a pretty thing. Okay, that's what's often happening. That's the truth of what's going on in many cases. Okay, So I mean, there are so many people who credit me with being alive today because now the truth is they took action, and that's the critical thing. They took the action that they needed to do, right? And so today they're vibrant and healthy. People tell me that they've never felt better in their lives. I hear that story over and over again. Thank you so much. I've never felt better than I feel right now. Now, for me, I was working in a field in commercial real estate, my first 10 years out of school, that, my plan was to retire at 35, a multimillionaire. And many of the people I work with did exactly that. Maybe they didn't retire, but because most people get to that point and they say, I want more. I figured I'd get to that point and then I'd figure out what I wanted to do when I grew up, right? Because I knew it wasn't that. That wasn't all that fun for me. And then I found out that really helping people take back control of their life and their health, that made me feel good. That's what I wanted to do. And that's why I continue doing the same work all these years. And it's funny because I just called it work and people call it work, but it's not really work at all. I mean, it's exactly what I would do if I didn't need to get paid and had time. That's what I'd be doing. Because it feels amazing to see, people light up, their eyes light up, and all of a sudden they have tons of energy and they feel better than ever. That's what's possible. That's what's possible for virtually everyone. What I realized was that, in looking back at everything that happened, see, there's tons of people out there who can tell, are telling you they can help you. And there's tons of programs, and there's tons of diets, and there's tons of cleanses, and there's tons of these things. But the problem is none of these things works very well by itself. None of these things works as an isolated piece, and some of them don't even work at all. Not really. They're just another way to suppress symptoms. What I realized was that creating an amazing level of health was probably the simplest thing in the world, but something that very few people ever learned how to do. Okay, why? Why was it so simple? Why didn't people learn how? Because what it meant was aligning ourselves with the laws of nature. Okay, we give our body the chance to fully cleanse and heal, and then we learn how to meet all of our body's needs, just as nature dictated. And when we do that, the results invariably, like virtually every time, are going to be amazing. They're going to be amazing because that's what happens. Okay, that's simply how it works. All right? And so you've got to be completely clear about this. I mean, yep, you can go find experts, and I'm always amazed. I mean, I'll never forget the time I ran into a woman I hadn't seen in probably 10 years. And honestly, she looked really bad. Like, she looked tired and worn out and overweight, and she had way too many lines on her face at too young an age. She looked like she was falling apart. And so I said to her, and this was 20 years ago, I said to her, hey, I've got a full day seminar every month. There's one coming up in a couple of weeks. Why don't you come? And she said, no. And I won't mention his name, but she said, no, so-and-so is my guru. This is a well-known author, who writes about health. And I thought, okay. I mean, I said to her, oh, okay, well, if you change your mind, here's the information. Now, this guru of hers was a guy who's 75, 100 pounds overweight. And I thought, why do people take advice from people who aren't getting the results that they're promising? I mean, would you take business advice from a kid flipping burgers at McDonald's? Okay, would you take marriage advice, relationship advice from Donald Trump? I would hope not. Okay? I mean, he knows how to do it not very well. I don't think you want to take advice from him. Why would you take health advice from someone who's overweight? From someone who speaks like they've got a head full of mucus, from someone who smells bad? These are all signs of a toxic body. And of course, many people don't realize that. And many people simply look at the degrees and the certificates, and they think, oh, well, he's been educated. He's a doctor. He's a whatever. She's got this. Okay, but let's talk about what actually works. Because we are often, Tanglewood, my fasting center, 24 years old in another month or two, we're often a last resort for people. Why? Why is that the case? Well, because for most people, going without eating anything for 2, 3, 4 weeks, sometimes more, that seems pretty radical for a lot of people. It's not something most people, are going to say, oh, that, yeah, we're going to try everything else first sometimes. Okay. It is. It's not good or bad. It's not right or wrong, but that's how it is. Many people are going to go try everything else they can think of before going to this thing that actually makes sense, right? And why I say, why does it really make so much sense? Why does it make more sense perhaps than anything else? Because it's nature's way. There's roughly 25 million animal species on the planet. They all fast when sick enough or badly enough injured. Okay, every species has a species-specific diet. And there's many people here that understand that. Many of you understand, yeah, there's an optimal diet, and you're doing your best to follow it. But even there, I mean, there's a lot of people making a lot of significant compromises and not understanding that until they get to a certain level, you don't want to make any compromises, right? I mean, it reminds me, years ago, I just moved to Costa Rica. I'd come from Panama, where I was defrauded of everything I owned there by lawyers there, by a not very healthy legal system. And I got on a bus with 2 suitcases of $200 9.5 years ago to start over again. And I came here with nothing, right? And it was simply being willing to believe that I could make it happen again, right? I mean, I remember the guy whose space I first rented when I first came here. He said to me, I was looking one day at the real estate ads, and he said, what are you doing? I said, I'm looking for my next place. He said, he started laughing. How are you going to get a place? You don't have anything. You've lost everything you own. I said, I don't know. I have no idea how, but I know I'm going to. Okay, because I knew that I could create anything I chose to. And I know that you can create anything that you choose to if you're committed to actually making it happen. See, but the key is that I figured out exactly what I needed to do, right? And what I started to tell you was, I had almost no money. I needed a car. I wound up buying this super cheap car. Literally, the paint was holding the rust together. And one day after the session was over, I was tooling around. I was staying in these cheap motels down along the coast, and had this old car. And one day I was tooling around up in the hills. It was a big 4-wheel drive, a Toyota Land Cruiser, an old one. Looks like the old Jeep, right? And the day before, the handbrake had died. And I'm up on this hill when the car dies. And at the bottom is a river. And I didn't trust the transmission to hold it in place. So I put it in gear and I jumped out. I left it in neutral because I jumped out to push it up a hill. Right? I wanted to push it up to a place where it could sit, where I could, for a minute, before I went to get some rocks, because I was going to have to leave it there and go find help. And as I'm pushing this thing, it's a heavy machine, and I'm pushing this car up this little hill by myself, and I thought to myself, this would be a bad time to stop and tie my shoe. Now, of course, I don't wear shoes. I'm in flip-flops, but it'd be a bad time, to stop and fix my flip-flop. That's what occurred to me. Bad time to stop and tie your shoe while you're trying to push a car up a hill. Similarly, if you're trying to get from where you are to where you'd like to be, you do not want to stop halfway up. You do not want to have bumps in the road. You don't want to make these compromises that slow down your progress, sometimes so much so that you wind up going backwards. And I hear this all the time too. In fact, I have a client who fasted with me 6 years ago here. She's working with me right now. Maybe she's here. And she told me today, 6 years, her diet was perfect. She felt incredible. She looks amazing. She looks incredible. Beautiful woman. She, looks incredibly good for her age. And what happened was, at one point, she went to study. She was studying something, and there was nothing where she was. There was nothing. There was like nothing, no fruit, no salads available. It was all cooked food. And she said, okay, well, I'll do that temporarily, and then I'll jump back on to the healthy diet. Well, what happened? You probably know the moral here, right? I mean, she couldn't get back. She became addicted. And so after 6 years of eating a perfect diet, this derailed her, and then she had a year of making very poor choices in some cases. Binging and still eating mostly optimal. And there's a lot of people who eat mostly optimal, but include a lot of other stuff. Well, the negative impact of that is enormous. It's enormous, okay? And so, it's critically important to think about the idea that in order to get the best results, the first step, first you have to be committed. But second, you have to have the information. And there aren't that many people out there that have the information, that have the results, right? As I said, I've been coaching people 30 years. I haven't been sick a day now in 35 years, just short of 35 years, since the last day I was sick. Okay, every day, tons of energy. And my body works better today than it did when I was 18 at nearing 60. Okay, now, every day the haters tell me on YouTube how old I look, etc. But the fact is, people who see me in person are usually going, "Oh my God, you look great for a guy your age." And I don't need that. Don't get me wrong. I'm not fishing for compliments here. I want you to understand that you too can get to a place where, you maintain a 29.5-inch waist if that's appropriate for your body, where you stay strong and fit, where your joints work all the time. My little sister had her knee replaced last year, is waiting to get the other one replaced. She's younger than I am. I was born with a congenital knee problem, had to wear big braces when I skied back, what was this? Let's see, 42 years ago, when I entered the Air Force Academy in Colorado Springs. We're up in the mountains. I would ski as much as I can, but I had to wear big braces on my knees. And today, at nearly 60, I can surf on a surfboard, the same action with no braces, because my body is healthier. My body works better today than it did when I was 18, 19 years old. That's possible for virtually everyone. Okay, my clients are in teenagers, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. It doesn't matter what your age is. If you're still alive, if you're sitting here today and you're already dead, this isn't going to help you. Okay, but if you're still alive, your body can heal. Maybe not completely. Maybe it's been long enough. You're never going to be like you could have been when you were 18, maybe. But maybe you can. It's incredible what happens when you give the body the opportunity and the conditions it needs. So I've been traveling around the world and speaking, and I've been sharing this with as many people as possible. But you know what? There's a limit to how many people I could see. There's a limit to how many people I could get the information to. And I thought, yep, I've got a book. My first book should be done as soon as I have time to finish writing it. It's 95% done now, but I've just had so little time that it hasn't progressed much in the last months, 12 months, actually. I'm embarrassed to admit that. Crazy as it is, with this year, with almost nothing happening here until the last couple months, I've been busier than ever because I've gone to working online much more than before. And it's kept me busier than ever. We have a lot of cool things coming. But one of those things is a program that I realized what we needed to do was create something that brought it all together. Look, you can go to my YouTube channel. I know many of you found me that way. Many of you are there right now. There's 700 plus videos there. You can try to piece it all together and it's all there. It's free. You can do that. But it's not so easy, because it's easy to miss some key piece that way, right? That's just it's not a very efficient or effective way to get the information you need. In order to create amazing results, all you have to do, remember, you've got to be committed, but then you have to have the information you need. And I thought, what I need to do is compile everything, dump this into, in a format where everyone has access to it. Because I guarantee results. If you're willing to do what you need to do, your results are virtually guaranteed. It doesn't fail, because our bodies are governed by the laws of nature. So we meet the body's needs, we see amazing things happen, like over and over again. This is what happens. Okay? So what did I do? Well, I enlisted someone. I couldn't do it myself. So I enlisted one of the smartest, and I have a lot of very smart students, but I was also looking for someone who was particularly interested in this path. And he'd already talked to me about wanting to work in this field. And so I contacted him and said, listen, get your butt up here with your wife and let's build something. Okay. And that's what we've been doing. It's taken us a year, almost a year to complete it. I think we recorded 175 videos. Some of them are short, some of them are long. The idea was to try to keep them to relatively small, bite-sized pieces. Okay, it's a self-paced program which gives you everything you need to know. Okay, and the thing is, I mean, look, you don't have to do it that way. I remember once I had a client who was referred to me by his doctor. That didn't happen very often, but I had a good friend, and my friend was morbidly obese, had hypertension and type 2 diabetes and lots of other issues. And I tried for 2 years to get him to come to a full-day seminar. And finally, one day when I called him, I said, okay, Bill, I've got a seminar. And he said, you know, I was expecting to hear the no thanks, not interested. And he said, what time is it? I said, excuse me? He said, I'm coming. And he brought his wife. And he instantly made changes. And the reason why, and this is, by the way, you know, if you're thinking, oh, there are people I know that would benefit, but they're not interested, you never know. Because what had happened was his doctor had told him that he needed 2 more medications every day, in addition to the 3 he was already taking. And his blood pressure wasn't getting better because blood pressure medications don't make anyone better. They treat symptoms without extending your life, without making you healthier in any way. Okay, they're just suppressing symptoms. That's all medicine ever does. Okay, I mean, again, look, their trauma medicine has saved my life on more than one occasion, and I'm very grateful for it. And I'll go back to the hospital if I ever cut another artery open, right? You know, have a compound fracture. Those are the kinds of things where medicine shines. But using medicine for anything else makes no sense because it's not addressing the underlying cause of the problem. Okay, so I mean, I don't think I'm so extraordinary. I think what happened is that I was really highly motivated because I got so sick so young, and I needed a way to figure it out, and I did, and I figured out what worked. Right, this guy came and in fact, he didn't fast with me because he couldn't see a way to take the time off, but he changed his diet, and that was enough for him, and he got off all the medications. It was an incredible shift for him. He got off all the drugs. He lost all the excess weight. And his doctor, when he saw him next, said, oh my God, what did you do? And my friend said, call Loren. To the doctor's credit, he did. He made an appointment to come see me. I explained to him as well as I could. I used small words because he was a doctor. I'm just kidding. So my family members, my brother, one of my cousins are doctors. You know, I have tremendous respect for anyone that wants to help people. The problem, right? I mean, that's what happens sometimes. But even in this guy's case, you know, it wasn't. Here was a guy who was told he was going to die. He was told he was too late, and he still was able to create an amazing level of recovery, an amazing level of health. Okay, and those people who take what I teach and continue to put it into practice and continue to improve by understanding more and more and have all the pieces get the same results every time. I can guarantee that because that's what happens. And that's why we've seen more than 400 hypertensive clients eliminate hypertension. Okay, well, medicine doesn't work. What we do does every single time. This is why I've seen more than 80, nearly 100 type 2 diabetics eliminate diabetes, arthritis, and brain fog, and candida problems, and almost everything else, because our amazing bodies are self-healing and self-cleansing. Cleansing and healing are biological processes. What we need to do is learn how to use these things properly and then know exactly what to do after the fact. And many of the people that, you know, some of the people I've been telling you about, some of these stories, the people who do the best are often the people that get ongoing coaching afterward until they're completely clear that they have it all. And that's because up until now, we haven't really had a way to get you the information. Now we do. Okay, we've got this program. It's called Vibrant Health. And what we did was we created something called the Academy for Vibrant Living, right? It's difficult for some of you to come to Costa Rica to learn with me in person. You don't have to, okay? This is an online program. It is self-paced. You do each section as you're ready and able to. And the first course, Vibrant Health, will teach you virtually everything you need to know to take your health to an amazing new level. Okay, now, you know, it still probably makes sense to have fasting supervision, but everything else is something you can do on your own if you only know how. Okay, that's all you need to know. I mean, it's all the information's there. Everything you need is in there. Okay, the second course, which we're still putting together, is the health coaching course. I found that helping people achieve their health and be able to manifest their dreams by maximizing their potential because they feel so good and so clear and so happy and so energetic, there's nothing more rewarding. And I know many people I work with say, how can I do what you do? This is how. Okay, this is the way. And what we're going to be doing, we're not just going to give you, say, okay, here's your diploma, you're good. We're going to help you. We've got coaching available. We've got all, the whole program is set up in such a way that you're going to be guided through the process in a way that you will not fail. You will succeed. And the health coaching course, the first step is you have to take the Vibrant Health course. Now, you can just take the Vibrant Health course if you just want your own health at the highest level possible. But if you also want to feel, be able to help, feel good because you want to help as many other people as possible, the second course is there for you. And the health coaching course is going to teach you not just, you already have the basics of being healthy, but how to coach other people, how to work with people, how to do this in a professional manner, how to ensure that you're getting the results that your clients want. Okay. And we're going to support you by creating a directory of all of our coaches, our certified coaches, so that people that are looking for a coach are going to be able to find you easily. And it's going to be much easier to build a successful business. Okay, what we do works, and we're going to help you create the exact same success that I've had. That's enabled me to live where I want to live in a beautiful setting, surrounded by amazing people, and feel great every single day because I'm doing what it is that I want to do. Okay, that's what we're doing. Now, this is brand new, right? The Academy for Vibrant Living. As you can probably imagine, with a launch like this, we're still tweaking things about 20 minutes before we started. Everything is now set up and ready to go. The website works. Everything is ready. But here's the thing. This program, there's a ton of information here. There's a ton of time and energy that went into it. And we looked at what other courses were charging. We thought that's absurd. That's a lot of money. We wound up realizing we were going to have to be in more or less the same ballpark. But we wanted to make it possible for a select group of people to get started as soon as possible at the lowest possible price. And so that's what we're offering today. Okay? And here's the thing. We're only offering 30 spots. So first of all, I want to tell you about the program, and then I'm going to come back and give you the website. But I want you to understand that this price we're offering is only good for the first 30 places, okay? And it's only good for a few days, even if we don't sell it out quickly, and I suspect we will, because I know there are people who are waiting for this opportunity right now to get involved. So you've got two options if you go there. Okay, I'm going to give you the URL in just a moment. The first one is you can just take the Vibrant Health course. You can purchase that. The second one is you can purchase the package, Vibrant Health and Health Coaching together at the same time at an amazing discount, which I promise you is never going to be seen again. Okay, in fact, as of Sunday, the price goes up. Whether we've sold all the spaces or not, the price goes up on Sunday. This is a very limited time offer. Okay, and we're doing it for a very specific reason. A, we want you to be able to jump in now and create the life that you want for yourself. Okay, we know that what's possible for you, and we know that there are many of you who desperately want to feel and function better, to be as clear as possible, and some of you who want to help other people do the same thing. And so we wanted to make it possible for you to get started now as quickly as possible. So you're going to have a couple of options, all right? But let's talk about what this is, first of all, okay? The Vibrant Health course, it's 32 hours of video, okay? 32 hours of video lessons. This is everything I've learned in more than 30 years. Fran, who helped put this together with me, I mean, he's actually I don't want to make it minimize his effort, because Fran and his wife Katie have done all the work of building this whole thing out. Okay, my job was just to sit down and talk about what they wanted me to talk about, because Fran has been coaching people as well for, I think, maybe 10 years now. But he's quite a bit younger than me, about 30 years younger, and it obviously hasn't worked with nearly as many people. And he's a student of mine, right? Very, very bright guy. This is a guy I trust. I mean, trust me, I didn't just grab anyone. I wanted the best person possible to bring this together, so that what you get, everything we do here, we try to do at the highest level of quality. If you've been to Tanglewood, you know what I'm talking about. It's a beautiful place, and we go way above what's necessary. It's not like a regular institution. You're going to feel like you're at a comfortable. It's rustic. We're in the jungle, but it's beautiful and comfortable, and that's what we aim to do. We offer a high level of service. Okay, the same is true with this program. But you've got more than 32 hours of video lessons with everything we've learned. Okay, step by step. They're short, they're concise, but they're step by step, so it's easy for you to follow. And the beautiful part is you can go back as many times as you need to and watch the videos and read the accompanying materials, because we've got 115 plus hours writing the PDF materials that accompany the video. All right, there's a ton of information there for you. This is unlike any other course out there. We're offering tutoring here. There's live webinars monthly for all of our students. Only for our students, not for the public, just for people taking this course. And there's going to be a special Facebook community where you can support each other. Okay, you're going to have access to both of us this way, Fran and I, but you're also going to be able to communicate with each other and support each other, so that everyone understands as much as possible. Okay, we have done everything we could to create the best program possible for you, and I believe that's what we have here. So, who's this program for? Well, obviously, if you're that person who wants to feel and function as well as possible, maybe right now you're okay, right? A lot of people are okay, but they know could be much better. This is for you. The Vibrant Health course is definitely for you. Okay, let's say you are someone who really wants to, maybe you're already feeling great. Okay, maybe it could be better, maybe not, but you want to be a health coach and you're not really sure how to get started or how to run a business. We know how to do that. Okay, honestly, I'm at the point now where I have way more people who want my services than I have time to offer them. And so we can help you create the same level of success. Okay? And that's the second person. The third person is the person that wants both. You want to take your own health to an amazing level, and you want to help other people accomplish the exact same thing. This program is definitely for you. What you're going to learn is how to know exactly which foods are best adapted for your physiology and your biology. You're going to learn how to develop and maintain a positive mindset. Okay? Because that's such a critically important thing. And there's so many people out there who mean well and know a lot, but they're not really very positive. You probably know people like this. How to create an immune system, we'll call it really the body's immune function, that's incredibly powerful. So that no matter what you encounter, you're perfectly fine. This is the reason why I don't get sick. Okay, it's been 35 years. Okay, you can do exactly the same thing. We're going to teach you how to connect to your body, to your intuition, so that you know exactly what you need to do and when you need to do it. How to lose excess fat, how to build muscle, how to maintain a perfect weight for your body, how to cleanse and heal your body. We're going to teach you about the 7 keys to optimal health and how to make sure you're doing each of them as well as possible. Because it's not just about what you eat, okay? It's about meeting all of your body's needs. And some of these are things that people never think about, okay? I've been studying health and nutrition now since I was 14 years old. That's nearly 46 years. I read as many studies as possible every year. I used to attend and still sometimes speak at health conferences. I'm well connected and I'm aware of what's going on. And I found something. I have a system here that we're going to be sharing with you that integrates everything seamlessly. With most people's systems, they'll say, well, that seems to make sense, but how about this thing? That doesn't really fit together. There's none of those inconsistencies. Everything that we teach and practice here all works together seamlessly. Okay? So it's how to meet all of your body's needs so that you know what these vital needs are, you know how to meet them. All right? It's how to channel your emotions in a positive way so you can handle food addictions and other issues. Now, there's some work involved. Don't get me wrong. It's not just learning something. You have to be willing to practice what you learn. But the first piece is you have to know what to do and how to do it. And that's what we're going to teach you. Okay, which foods support the highest level of consciousness, support your spiritual growth, and how to approach these things. All right, by the end of this course, you're going to be a completely new person. Right? The physical health, mental health, right? Your mind, the body, the spiritual connection in every area, the best version of yourself possible. And I'm not saying it can't get better. I'm still improving all the time, or at least I'd like to think so. There are probably some people who disagree with me, but that's okay. Health reality, basic biology, fundamentals of nutrition, human physiology and digestive anatomy. We're going to look at all the different foods and diets out there. Okay, different ways of processing food and what happens when we use them. Superfoods, supplements, detoxification, energy and vitality. I mean, how to listen to your body, how to stabilize your weight, everything. It's all there. All right. So you've got two options here, right? We always have to make choices. That's life, right? And I know some of you are, I'm going to have to think about this for a while. It's up to you. You can think about it as long as you want to. Just remember that this special offer is for the first 30 people only, and there's only a few days to take advantage of it. And I know there are people waiting right now. As soon as we give you the website, you're going to go there and register. So you may not want it, but here's your two options. One, you can do nothing, in which case you will probably not fulfill your potential. You'll probably not become the amazing version of yourself that you're capable of being. And I truly believe every single person has genius. In many cases, untapped genius, but every single one of us is genius. Everyone does. Okay? I was very fortunate to find my passion, to be able to spend most of my life working in it, to be able to tap into my genius. Some people haven't been able to do that yet. We want to help you do that. But if you do nothing, not likely. The second option, make a relatively small investment, a really small investment. Because what is the value of your health and vitality? And I don't just mean in terms of, there's a piece that we can't really put a price on, right? What's more important than your health? But actually think about cost. I walked away, I gave up my health insurance in my 20s, 35 years ago, roughly, more than 34 years ago. I haven't paid a health insurance premium, okay? I don't buy any drugs. I don't buy any over-the-counter medications. I don't buy any superfoods. I don't pay practitioners unless I've had an accident of some kind. I've saved a small fortune. So the cost of this investment is absolutely nothing. So what is it? What is the cost? Well, here's the thing. Normally the Vibrant Health Coach, $29.97, $2,997. Take a look at the nutrition and health courses out there, and you will find this price is a very good price. Okay, $2,997. It's a very good price. Our health coaching course is normally $1,997. And you can buy the two courses together, normally for $3,000. When I say normally, these are the prices that we've established, and this is what we're going to be charging. Okay, and they're not only are they competitive, they're better than what else is out there. Okay, you can buy the two together, this bundle, these two courses, $3,997, $4,000 for life-changing information that can help you create an incredible practice where you can help as many people as possible. I've now worked with more than 13,000 people. I feel pretty good about that. Okay, I've done everything I could to help them. You can do exactly the same thing right now. So those are the normal prices. Right now, today and tomorrow and for the next couple of days, if you're one of the first 30 people, you can get the Vibrant Health Coach course for $997 if you pay in full now, or 3 payments of $500. And that's crazy. We're talking about if you make the payment plan, three monthly payments, you're still paying half price. Okay? If you pay in full today, you get it for a third of what it's going to cost. Okay? And we're not, this isn't hype. We're not like giving, dramatically pushing the prices up to bring them down. This is what we're actually going to be selling this program for. And it's worth every penny of it. I completely stand by it. Okay? I mean, we're talking about 32 hours of me on video. Okay? My time sells for $200 an hour currently, and it's going to be going up soon because I'm already so busy. So 30 hours of my time would cost a lot more than what we're charging here. It would cost twice as much as the normal price, and therefore 6 times as much as this discounted price. The bundle together, $14.97 for $500 more. You get the second course as well. Now remember, you have to take the first course before you can qualify to take the second course. We're not training coaches that don't already know, hopefully from not just learning, but from actually applying how to create an amazing level of health, because there's already way too many health experts and coaches out there who aren't even healthy. So we're not making any more of those, okay? If that's what you're thinking, you're in the wrong place. But if you want to create an amazing level of health for yourself and then learn how to share that with other people, this is the deal. So what do? Well, you go to vibrantspecial.com, vibrantspecial.com, okay? Now, it's Tuesday, and on Sunday, regardless of how many courses we've sold, if we've sold 1 or we've sold 30, the price goes up. You've been warned, okay? vibrantspecial.com. You can go there right now. We are ready to take your card if you're ready to feel and function better than ever. This is what you want to do. Remember, there's only 30 spaces. And once we get to Sunday or we fill 30 spaces, whichever comes first, the price goes up. Okay? So you're going to want to guarantee your spot as soon as possible. And remember, if you're committed to feeling and functioning better than ever, this investment is nothing. It's nothing. I mean, honestly, the marketing people said, this is what you should do. This is what you should charge. I'm like, that's so little. I mean, I thought maybe we would offer, half price if they paid in cash, not for a third of the price. All right. So remember, this lasts until midnight on Sunday. I think that's midnight Eastern Standard Time on Sunday. That's when we close it. And at that point, the price goes up. That's it. Right? So if you're ready to create something amazing for yourself, I'm going to be sharing everything I can with you, not just in the recorded material, but in monthly live Zoom calls. Right? You're going to have access to me like most people don't have, because it's not that easy to get to me these days. All right. So let me answer some of the common questions that we get that have been asked here. Which course is best for me? Well, again, if what you want is to just take your own health to an amazing new level, then you're going to want to go ahead and take the Vibrant Career. And all you're focused on is your own health, the Vibrant Health course is going to be for you, okay? Now, obviously, if you want to coach other people, then also take the health coaching course. It's only $500 more. It's a crazy, stupid price, okay? The amount of time and energy that will have gone into this by the time we're finished with that program, you're getting both of them for $14.97 if you pay today. That's crazy, okay? We take all cards. That shouldn't be a reason, right? Now, there are people who may not be interested in becoming health coaches, but maybe want to learn how to run a business. Maybe they want to learn some of the things that we teach in the health coaching course for their own benefit, to improve their own relationships, because this is really about relating and working with people. Okay? So, for $500 more, you might want to take both courses, even if you have no interest in being a health coach. I would. That's exactly what I would do, given that this price. I mean, the bundle today, it's not even half the cost of the whole thing. It's crazy. It's a simple thing. So remember, vibrantspecial.com. vibrantspecial.com. You're going to want to go there as soon as you can. If you're watching this later on, the recorded version, hopefully we still have space available for you. Okay? All right. I already took another course. Why should I take this one? Well, we've looked at all the courses out there. In fact, Fran and Katie have taken other courses out there. And we've looked hard at what they're offering and what they're teaching and looking at the people teaching them. And again, you know, if you've got someone teaching a course who's overweight, who isn't that healthy themselves, who is prematurely old and lined, you know, et cetera, and their bodies aren't working so well, what can they teach you about creating an amazing level of health and vitality? The only one that can teach you that is someone who's experiencing that. We guarantee you this program is going to teach you things you're not going to find anywhere else, because the people who put these other courses together don't understand some of the things that we're teaching, perhaps many of the things that we're teaching. Okay? How long does it take to complete the course? Well, honestly, it's hard to say because it's completely up to you. You can, perhaps if you're focused on this 100% and all you're doing is the course, I mean, how long would it take you to get through 32 hours of video? You know, and then to answer all the questions and, you know, begin to apply, do the practices that we recommend. You know, my guess is someone who was completely focused on this, maybe if that's all they were doing, maybe they could finish it in a month or two. Someone who works full time and has a busy life, it might take a year to complete the program. It doesn't matter. It's up to you. You take the time you need to finish, because, you know, I mean, I think there is a limit, and I apologize, I don't now remember what we agreed to, but yeah, I think you can't go over a certain amount of time. It's, you know, whatever it is, 18 months, 2 years, and then you have to renew. But it's very generous, and there's no reason anyone can't finish this in much less time than that. Much less time. Okay? Is it possible to meet classmates in person? Well, you know, one of the really cool things about our program is that I also happen to run the Tanglewood Wellness Center here in Costa Rica. And we have a spectacularly beautiful campus here. We have a amazing yoga studio that holds about 30 people. We have a beautiful saltwater pool. We have a giant trampoline. We've got kilometers of trails. We're on 37 acres here. The climate's spectacular. We're up in the mountains, so it's never too hot here. I mean, very, very rarely is it that warm here. It's usually just perfect. You know, shorts and flip-flops, not sweating, just comfortable almost every day. And we've got amazing beaches an hour away. You know, every year, what we're going to do is and maybe more than once, depending on how popular they prove to be, we're going to be offering at least once a year a retreat here for our members. Okay, it's not included in the cost, but it is something that's possible for you. And so yes, it's absolutely possible. First of all, we're going to have the Facebook group so you can connect with people that way, and then you can go and connect with people who live close by and actually meet in person. Maybe we can help foster that as well. But we're also going to be doing something every year, at least once a year, where people have a chance to come here, meet us in person, hang out with us, actually see what it's like to live the way we live, and, you know, take it to a whole new level of understanding. Okay, when you're ready to fast, that's another option. Again, we're going to be able to guide you through the process, and as a student, you're going to have such an advantage because you're already going to come in knowing so much. That's going to be possible for you here as well. Okay, what are the results I should expect to get from this course? Well, you can expect to take your health, vitality, mental clarity, spiritual connection to the highest level you've ever experienced, assuming you're actually willing to do what you need to do. This doesn't work if you just read the information. I know I've heard over and over again, you've heard too, that knowledge is power. It's not. It's not power. Knowledge is potential power. Okay, there's no power whatsoever until you actually apply it. But if you're willing to apply the information we're going to be sharing with you and teaching you, it's incredible what happens. And I mean, like, over and over again, we see incredible things happening. Okay, tumors disappearing, not every time, but that happens over and over again. Okay, arthritis disappearing. People who just didn't feel that good, feeling amazing. People healing from Lyme disease, people healing from Candida. It doesn't matter what the condition is. Your incredible self-healing body, if you give it the chance, you're going to see amazing things happen. Okay, that's what you can expect. Will you do any promotion like this again? No, we won't. This is a one-time good deal. We are opening this right now, and this offer runs until Sunday, and that's it. After that, the price goes up. It's never going to be the same again. Okay, I promise you that. This is it, one time. Do we accept credit cards? Yes, we do. We accept all cards on the web page, so there, that shouldn't be a problem. If you have the ability to get hold of the card, yours or somebody else's, a good friend's, maybe you can get your hands on this program. Okay, so that's pretty much what I have here in terms of the questions. I'm not sure if there's any other questions that the administrators here want to share with me, anything I should be looking at. I see a question here, is Costa Rica vaccinating its people? Well, right now there's no forced vaccination. We don't know what's going to happen in the future, but it's always a possibility. Okay, Frank is asking US dollars to Costa Rican colones, 1 to 608, something like that. Yes, it's it changes every day. That's where we are currently, but yeah, it changes all the time. All right, so folks, it's been such a pleasure spending this time with you. I hope you understand. I think it comes through, right? My passion, my commitment to helping you. And that's going to come through in this entire program. We are going to be there for you because we are committed to your success. One of the reasons that I asked Fran to join me in this venture, because I wanted someone who is completely committed. And this is one of the nicest people I've ever met, and super intelligent and really equipped to be able to help people. And so joining us in this program means you're going to have an incredible support network and you're going to see amazing results. Are you ready to create the life that you've always wanted? Are you ready to feel and function better than ever? If you are, you're going to want to go to vibrantspecial.com, because this is your opportunity and it's never going to be this way again. Okay, there's a chance right now to get in on something that will allow you to learn exactly what you need to know to feel and function amazingly well. The people who apply this information that I've taught them over the last 30 years have all thrived as long as they've been willing to consistently apply the information. It doesn't fail. It literally doesn't fail. And it's interesting because I ran a laboratory of sorts, right? For 12 years, we ran the internship program where 4 people at a time would come. They'd fast 21 days, and then they would exercise with me, meditate with me, learn from me, eat with me. And what happened? Every single person thrived, no exceptions. It didn't matter what their blood type was. It didn't matter where they came from. It didn't matter what their skin color was, right? None of those things make any difference. What we teach, again, I guess I should, the caveat is if you're listening today and you're not a human, this may not work for you, okay? But if you're a human being, it works for virtually everyone. So are you ready? If you are, this is it. This is the time, okay? You're going to want to get yourself enrolled and do it as quickly as you can because spaces are limited, okay? The spaces are limited. All right, let's see. I see here a message from Kay. Thanks for your vibrant message to your followers, Loren. You are very welcome, Kay. Kay, by the way, I hope it's okay to say this, Kay, but Kay and I go back a long way. Kay came to visit me a couple times when we were in our first location, which was 20 plus years ago. And what's possible, Kay well knows, is amazing. Okay, and here I am more than 20 years later, probably a little bit more gray than I was back then. I had black hair back then. I met someone actually a couple of years ago at an event where I was speaking, and she came up to me and said, "You remember me?" I said, I looked at her and I'm like, "Oh yeah." It's fast with me 20 years earlier. And she said, "Aside from your hair color, you look exactly the same as you did back then." Okay, exactly the same. I don't know if that means I look super old when I was 40, or if it means I don't look so old now. But the point is, you can continue to be vibrant, to be passionate, to be happy, to be turned on, and to. All right, I see a question here. Can a person? Oops, I think we've already answered some of these. All right. Hey Theo, how are you? Good to see you. I'm going to get certified. I'm ready, trying to pay right now on the payment and isn't going through. I called and talked to the pay on the phone. Okay, well, listen, don't worry. Theo will work with you. I don't know if one of the admins here can contact Theo. Theo's a lovely lady from Hawaii who I've worked with, and we would love to have you in the program. Theo would be so glad to work with you and hopefully to see you here eventually. I know that last time it made more sense to work remotely, but we'll see. My payment was declined 3 times using 2 different credit cards. May have to give you a credit card a different way. I may have to call Tanglewood and give it over the phone. Okay, well, we don't normally take cards over the phone, but we will find a way to make it work. Okay, so if for anyone who is having trouble with the payment processing, and I apologize, we are just going live today, and sometimes with the new program, there can be some issues with the, oh, it looks like, okay, good. Okay, I'm reading Theo's message. So sometimes at first there can be a little, some little hiccups. We'll need to get those fixed. But make sure that you communicate with us, and you can write to us at info at let's see, Fran, what is that address? Can you post it here, please? Or yeah, you can post it for me, I think. Could you answer my email? It's about the course. Yep, we will answer your email about the course. Please keep in mind, I apologize if I owe you a message. We have been super, super busy approaching this launch, and life is, is already super busy here for me. It's gotten even busier. So if I owe you a message, I apologize, but we will get it to you. Okay, Paulina, thanks, have sent a message. Fantastic. I'm actually planning to come fast with you. Should I just invest in the health coach course because I'm interested in doing that? Janine, you should definitely invest in both of them. I mean, you come here to fast. That's, you're going to need to get your body clean. That's an incredible thing. You can't skip that step if you want to feel and function as well as possible. That's actually one of the keys, because getting the body truly clean and well functioning is amazing. You can eat the optimal diet for 20 years. I've had people, I think the longest was 22 years eating what I would call optimally. And then she came here and had a life-changing experience. In 21 days, had a life-changing experience. Okay, we have people here now going 30 days and 35 days and 42 days. I think I've got 5 people here who are already fasting for 32 days and who aren't done yet. You're never going to accomplish that, not in your lifetime, by simply eating optimally. So definitely come, but invest in the program. If you want to be a health coach, invest in the package today, because this price is unbelievable, and then get yourself down here when you can, okay? Because getting here is amazing. There's nothing quite like it. All right. Let's see. Are there any other questions for me here? I've tried, but payment won't be accepted, Jeanette. Okay, Jeanette. So write to us, and we will figure out how to do it. Engen says, I'm thinking about enrolling in the course, but I wanted to know if you teach about water fasting in the course. Of course, absolutely. We do teach about water fasting. No question about it. And remember, in the live monthly calls, we can answer questions about anything. So there's a chance there to, anything that you feel like needed more information, more attention, we'll cover it for you. Now, I want to be completely clear about this, right? I don't know anyone who's truly knowledgeable about fasting that would ever recommend fasting without experienced guidance. Okay, so the intention is not to teach you so that you don't need guidance. You probably still would benefit from having guidance. This is why I have very intelligent clients who are here for the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th time. The record is there's a woman who's fasted with me and an alternative health practitioner who's fasted with me 13 or 14 times. Okay, this is a really intelligent person, and she understands the health and the body as well as anyone, but she also knows she gets the best results when she's working with me directly. I have a woman fasting with me right now for the 3rd time. She's a very intelligent person, but she knows her results are going to be better by being guided through the process. So the answer is yes, you're going to learn all about fasting, and you're going to get much more by being here. Are there any additional costs? There are no additional costs. You're going to need a working computer, right? But that's about all. I guess you could actually take the course on your phone, but I think it's probably better on a screen, on a larger screen. So there's no additional costs at all, nothing. We're going to offer retreats and other other things, but that's completely up to you. You don't have to do that. They're not part of the course. They're not required to graduate. They're just a good time and a chance to deepen your understanding and experience of what we're talking about by actually being here and living it with us. Okay, but no additional expenses whatsoever. Even if you get the coaching certificate, we cannot supervise water fasting for others. Nope, this is a health coach, not a fasting supervisory certificate. That would be a completely different process. We may well be offering that at some point in the future, but if we do, that will be at least 6 months on site supervising fasts, and we're only going to be taking practitioners, licensed practitioners, should we ever do that. Okay, right now, we're not in a position to do that. We don't have time for that. I've got so much else going on, but that's the only way that's ever going to happen. Okay, but look, you could become a certified coach. You could be in our, we now have more and more people looking at our information, our website, our YouTube videos all the time. Okay, we have a link to our health coaching directory. They go to the directory and there you are. Okay, so not only can you go out and find your own clients, we're going to help you by publicizing what you're doing. Okay, and there's a way to work together with us. But no, we're not. The intention with health coaching isn't to certify you supervised fast. That's a whole nother level of understanding. That's not something that we're going to be able to do for you. Okay, can I use my deposit as part of the payment for the course? Can use your deposit to come here? Well, again, I can't answer that question because I'm not up on the details of what's going on with that. What you paid to Tanglewood isn't necessarily transferable to another entity. It's a separate company. They're two completely separate organizations. So if there's some special circumstances, you can talk to me. But Linda Sue, mine went through. Make sure you check the box regarding I've read the, okay, right. Okay, so you have to make sure that there's a box that says, I've read everything and agree to the terms, etc. You have to check that or it's not going to go through. And that's what happened. That's what Linda Sue is saying. Maybe that's the part of the issue for some other people. What's the format of the course? As I said earlier, this is a self-paced course, right? It's an online program. So when you start the course, you register for the course, you're able to download the first part, right? And that you're only able to get the next section once you've completed the first one, which means going through the material you want to focus on, you could perhaps complete the whole course in a couple months. Honestly, I'd encourage everyone to take their time to go through it because going through it once is good, but going through it multiple times is usually even better, okay? And you're going to want to be sure that you go through it well enough that you actually understand everything there. All right. Elle says, I watch you every time you come on, but I've never been able to fast. I have been sick for over 20 years. Why do some people have such resistance to fasting? Well, you say you've watched me, but you've never been able to fast. Many of the people I work with have a very difficult time fasting on their own. Again, no one's ever encouraged to fast on their own. I don't know any real fasting expert that would ever suggest that's a good idea. So people don't have resistance to fasting. The body is set up to fast like every other organism, but you have to know what you're doing. So watching me is great, but come here, or if you can't get yourself here, then work with me remotely. Okay, this isn't about Tanglewood's programs, but we do offer distance fasting and payment plans. So there's no reason why you can't fast. You just need guidance to do it. Okay, doing it alone rarely ever succeeds and is usually dangerous. Okay, it's not recommended for anyone. Okay, all right. Let's see. Was the first course, with the first course, I'll be able to fast on my own without supervision? Thanks. No. I think I've just answered that question. That's not ever recommended. That's not the intention of the course. The intention of the first course isn't to teach you everything you need to know to fast safely on your own. It's to teach you everything you need to know to create an amazing level of health. Fasting is something that requires guidance to do properly. To keep you safe, very few people are going to be able to safely guide themselves through the process. So it makes a lot more sense to have the guidance you need. Okay, that's the intention. The intention here is not to complete the course and now you're ready to go fast on your own. That really doesn't work very well. Okay, Dimitrios has paid. Thank you so much. We're so glad to have you joining us. And I'm really excited that you're here with us, and it's going to be an amazing journey. All right. All right, it's a wonderful project. Thank you so much. Payment didn't go through, so I've sent in an email. Okay, good, perfect. Is there any payment plan? There is no payment plan for the bundle. The bundle is such a discount that if you want the bundle, you need to pay in cash with a card, right? But that's, I mean, I would say, yep, you can finance this through your Visa or MasterCard, right? That's what they're for. You can put it on your card and you can pay over time. But in order to get this price on the bundle, you're gonna have to pay in full. All because course alone. And so, we're offering Vibrant Health is $997. The health coaching course is $2,000. That'd be $3,000, and we're offering it to you at half that much. So you do need to pay in full today if you want the bundle price on that. Okay. With limited funds, would you recommend a fast through Tanglewood or to take the course? Honestly, Josh, I think perhaps differently than many people, right? So it's a very good course. I don't have it. I don't have enough money for both. Should I take the course or should I come fast? Well, frankly, the course is much less expensive than fasting here. But if it were me, my answer is, Josh, think bigger, right? Costa Rica is not the least expensive country in Central America. In fact, it's the most expensive country in Central America. But it's also the country that I want to live in. Okay, what do I need to do to be able to afford to live here? We just need to make a little bit more money. That just means help a few more people. Okay, Josh, there's always a way to raise a little bit more money. There's always a way. If you want to take the course, the first course, you can make 3 payments of $500, and then you can figure out while you're doing that how to raise enough money to work with me to fast as well. Because, and again, I mean, you can fast with me remotely, and you can pay 50% up front and the balance over time. There's no reason to make a choice. If you're interested in becoming as healthy as possible, I would encourage you to sign up for the course today, because this price is never going to exist again. Okay, based on what I'm seeing here, we may sell out these 30 places today. I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but if it does, the price is gone. So my recommendation would be to make this happen. Rachel says, dang, I don't do credit cards. I'm not sure, Rachel, but I know so we're using a brand new credit card processor for this program. It's not one of the ones I've used before with Tanglewood. We have a couple others we've used. So I don't know how it works, but usually you can also do a bank transfer, okay? Here's the thing. If you're unable to pay with a card and you can't make it work any other way on site, send us an email today and we will get you the information you need to do a bank transfer to us, okay? We're going to make this work for you. If that's what you want to do, we want you in the system. The fact that you don't. Now, the other way, which might be easier, would be if you have a friend or family member that has a card, have them pay for you and just pay them the cash. Okay, but if that doesn't work, you need to do a bank transfer. We'll work with you that way as well. Okay, we are here to make this work for you. Talking about living there, what's the update on the community project? The community there's a lot happening right now. We're going to be thinking, how are we going to make that happen, because there's so much going on now. But we do have a big deadline coming up, and so it's probably going to want to be sooner than later. So I'm going to see if I can do something for some time coming up soon in the next week or so. But it's coming along. You get out of here. So again, I hope everyone's clear. There's a limited time to register for this thing at these prices. These are unheard of prices. They're not going to last very long. You're going to want to do this now while you can, because there's only 30 spaces. So if you want to do this, then I would do it now if you can. If you can't make it work with your card, send us an email, okay? And we will get to you as quickly as we possibly can to make it work for you. And if you send us an email today and you respond quickly when we respond to you to make things happen, we'll honor the price. Okay, don't worry about that. Okay, but you're going to have to respond quickly to make this happen. All right. Hello from Michael Grant White in Charlotte, North Carolina. Loren's the best. Thank you so much, Michael. Michael's an old buddy of mine. Michael, I'll never forget that first time we met in person. That was probably 20 years ago. We were both speaking at the same event. Michael, by the way, is the world's best breathing coach. Michael Grant White. Go to breathing.com to check out his amazing work. Thanks so much. Okay, bye from Lloyd of London. Okay, Lloyd, good to see you. Where can we inquire? What is email address? Okay, Fran, can you post the email address here again, please, for everybody? I believe it is info@academyforvibrantliving.com, but I'm not completely sure about that. I'm pretty sure that's it, but I want to be absolutely sure. So let's get that in there. And if you can't reach us that way, go ahead and email us at info@tanglewoodwellnesscenter.com. That will work. The course and Tanglewood email address. So there's the Tanglewood address, info@academyforvibrantliving.com. Yes, you're right. Okay, so everyone, so the email to write for this program is info@academyforvibrantliving.com. Okay? Thanks so much, Fran. Thanks everyone for being here with me today, being here with us today, I should say. There's a team in the background making all this happen. It's definitely not me, my technical expertise, not so much. Theo, I'm so glad you're here. I think you said this, but just to clarify, to get the certification, you need to purchase both packages. Yes, we're certifying health coaches, which means it's the package, right? The certification occurs once you have successfully completed the second course, the health coaching program. Okay. So Fran has posted the email address here a couple times. They're fixing the payment issue. So Fran's just posted here. If you've been trying to pay with your card and are having problems, that issue is being resolved right now. Okay. So if it's not working right now, hopefully, Fran, do we have any idea of how long it will take to get that fixed? Maybe Fran can let us know here what's going on with that. Chad is asking about a link for the community project video. What you can do, Chad, is you can go to my YouTube channel, YouTube/Loren Lockman. There's a little search window in there. You can put in Las Cascadas, and you'll probably see 2 or 3 videos will come up where I talk about the project. One of them is like a 90-minute presentation on the project. Okay. So Fran says it'll be roughly 15 minutes. It has something to do with the local bank here is the problem. It's the Costa Rican bank where the issue is. You said that fasting, Pacificus says, you said that fasting 26 days reverses systemic candida issues. Does this include candida hyphae situations? Well, we have so far seen amazing results, seeing all the sun over there, amazing results with candida, pretty much every case. And 26 days is amazing. We even see amazing results with 21 days or more. Usually creates amazing results. What do you think? Maybe time to have my today, something like that. After talking for coming up on an hour and a half, an hour and 40 minutes. Okay, so I actually need to go see some clients here, but how about PayPal? We don't use PayPal anymore, Michael. We had a very unfortunate circumstance with PayPal last year, and we are done with them. So PayPal is out of the question. We're no longer in the PayPal camp. We used PayPal for 20 years, and PayPal still owes me quite a bit of money. So we're not doing business with PayPal. I would encourage everyone here to be incredibly wary of PayPal. But go ahead and check out the number of complaints they get, and check out the complaints with other payment processors, and you will see PayPal has way more than they should have for the number of transactions they do. All right, I also have a problem. It says payment error, exceso retiro. Okay, so don't worry. This is being resolved. Joanna, this should be fixed within 15, 20 minutes at the most. Okay, so folks, I'm going to jump off here. I'm not sure, Fran, if we can stay live answering questions without me, but I guess as long as I leave this thing running, that's okay. What water do you use for fasting? We are. What about Zelle for payment? Fred asks. Yeah, it's possible. You can try again. Bitcoin is the way ahead for payments. It may be, but Bitcoin is way too unstable for us right now. We're not willing to take payments that way. And Zelle is a possibility. If there's no other way to make it work, it's possible. But we use a Costa Rican account. I don't think Zelle works here in Costa Rica. So I think at this point, probably not going to work for the Academy for Vibrant Living. We're a Costa Rican corporation working with a Costa Rican bank. Zelle's not available here unless I'm mistaken. Okay. Okay, Kenneth says, you've made it tough. These programs look good. Damn you. I think I know which Kenneth this is. Kenneth, we love you, man. And that's the idea. You know, honestly, I know what you want to do. I know how you want to live the rest of your life. Come join us, man. You know, jump in the program. I promise you, it's going to be the best investment you've ever made. I mean, this is, the price is so silly right now. It's, you know, if you're serious about your health, folks, you should not be hesitating, because this is a stupid price. Honestly, it's, you know, it's crazy. I'm a little embarrassed to tell you how much more I've paid for many programs that don't offer a fraction of what we've offered here. Okay, so, you know, the goal is to make the very best course possible. Eventually, we will be selling it every day for $29.97. You have a chance right now to get it for a third that much. Did you ever have issues with mainstream drug companies? Only when I was silly enough to take their drugs. That's been 35 years, something like that. So no problems with us. Spring water at 7, yeah, spring water at 7 to 6 parts per million. Is that what you're saying? pH between 6 and 8, actually, Rachel, is perfectly fine. Martin says, how do we make sure we start and continue with the raw vegan diet? Well, we teach you that in the course, exactly how to do that. I mean, there's so much there, you know, these specific questions about what to do now. These are the kinds of things we're actually teaching in the program. So you're very welcome, all of you. Again, you know, if you've had a problem with payment, give it a few minutes. It should be working very shortly. In about 15 minutes, the bank says they're going to have this problem straightened out. So hopefully we'll be able to take your payment. If you still can't make it work, then what you do is you email us at info@academyforvibrantliving.com, and we'll get back to you and figure out a way to make it work for you. Okay, folks, thanks so much again for spending the time with us today. I'm so glad to be here with you, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Those of you who are smart enough to jump in, we look forward to seeing you on the inside. It's going to be great connecting with you, and looking forward to seeing you there. Okay, take care, everybody. Bye-bye. I'm going to keep this live for the time being, Fran. As long as there's questions, you can, I don't know if you guys can shut it down, but you can just let people know when you're not answering more questions, right? In the meantime, I'm going to turn off my audio and video. I'm going to go do what I need to do here, and we'll go from there. All right? Bye-bye. Still have to shut down here. Folks, on Instagram and YouTube, I'm about to close that out as well. I forgot about you. I'm sorry about that. Hope you're doing well. I apologize I'm not answering all your questions because I've been focused on the seminar chat room. But I hope you're getting your questions answered, and we'll look forward to seeing you on the inside as well. If you didn't get it already, it is vibrantspecial.com. And we'll look forward to seeing you soon. Okay? Take care. Bye-bye.